You ever know exactly what you should do and still not do it? Not because you don't know, but because you hesitate or avoid it. We read John 7, 8, and 9 this week, and that's what we kept seeing. Not people flat out rejecting God, just hesitating, resisting, ignoring it. And honestly, we've done that more than we'd like to admit. Welcome back to the Porn Sinners. My name is still Brad with Taylor and Marty.
Hey,
No
still
waves
Brad.
this time again. Still Brad, thank you. How are you guys doing this week?
Good, man. Finally got some time to get some projects done.
Yeah, it's Monday and I'm already exhausted.
So it's vitamin D levels, man.
I mean, I did stay indoors all weekend. So it's probably the problem.
Yeah, even this is like not what we came to talk about, but the living in Arizona, I thought that we got plenty of sun and vitamin D, but that's not true. He's even living in Arizona, you still have to take like supplements to get the recommended amount. So we read John this week. Did it go better for you this week? How to talk about vitamin D all day?
I forgot to pray
No.
for the first 2 chapters, but the last chapter I did. I was like,
All right, see,
it's progress. It's
baby
progress.
steps, baby steps. Last time it was until after you, so now you're in the middle.
So maybe this next go around, I'll remember.
I'm gonna text you every day. I'm gonna be like, pray before, or yeah.
FaceTime me, are you doing it?
Yeah, something that we were talking about too is we kind of just jumped into John and didn't really talk about like who John is or like what the context is from him. And I think one of you was saying that you also thought this, but for the longest time, I thought that this chapter was written by John the Baptist. I thought this John was the same person, and then I found out that it was not, and my mind was kind of blown. It's like there are two Johns. They need to use last names, I think.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more than 2 Johns. It's a pretty common name now.
And even back then, apparently.
It's like
Yeah, I was gonna
Muhammad,
say
you know?
now. No,
Maybe
actually.
that's why they do the call out for John the Baptist, and then this one's just John.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So the John that wrote this is one of Jesus's closest followers. And I think later in one of these chapters, he calls himself the one whom Jesus loved or loves, maybe, because he's writing it in his tense. But I don't know. That was just interesting to me that you also thought that one of you, I don't know which one of you it was, but
Yeah, I definitely thought the same thing. I just guess I never realized, again, the multitude of Johns.
yeah, we're not all smart like Marty.
No, I didn't know it at all.
Obviously, there's multiple Johns.
Muhammad, man. It's either between that or Muhammad.
Next, we're gonna get into Matthew, and you're gonna tell me there's more than one Matthew too.
There is. I used to work with a Matthew. There's also one in my 3rd grade math class.
I actually have a friend to this day. His name is Matthew, and I met him in 3rd grade, which was a long, long time ago, Marty, for me. So,
well, you emphasize that, not me.
Well, I'm just trying to get ahead of it. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we jump into John 7, 8, and 9?
Marty Supreme was pretty good.
Is that you, or are you going to tell me there's more than one Marty now too?
I mean, there's Marty McFly. But no, it was a pretty good movie. Everyone said it was good, but I didn't really want to watch it, but I ended up watching it. It's a good watch.
So he's like a supreme what?
Ping pong baller.
It's about ping pong. I thought it was about boxing. I was like, that kid's too skinny for boxing.
No, it's ping pong.
All right, that makes more sense.
All right. I think that actually is a great segue into John 7.
We're
Where-
done here.
where,
I mean, you asked, so
I did. Yeah, you're right. I just didn't know it was about ping pong. I think I regret asking as soon as I found out it was ping pong. So John 7 is basically where Jesus goes to the Festival of Tabernacles. I feel like I need somebody to just read these names to me too, so I don't sound so. But we're basically where the verse that I stopped on was 7:13,
same.
where but no one would say anything publicly about him for fear of the leaders. We talked about this a little bit last time too, just how the Pharisees, like, he was doing these miracles and they just did not want to like accept it. And they're still looking for him in this one. So that was something that popped up to me, was no one, like, just, they weren't rejecting him. They were just didn't want to take the risk.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they didn't see anything. They saw something. They were paying attention. They were talking about him. They just weren't willing to stand on it. Like, and that's the hesitation you're talking about.
Verse 7:5. Thought it's pretty rough that the Bible calls out that not even his brothers believed him, even the
Yeah.
closest to him.
Yeah, that's true. I did kind of skip over that. And I don't even think I read that, obviously, but it didn't like hit me like who they were. What do you think, other than just being afraid of the Pharisees, like what fear do you think, not just back then, but like today, like keeps people from committing? Like, is there something that's fearful for today's world?
Maybe commitment.
Just the fear of commitment?
And everything that goes with it.
Or maybe they're just uncomfortable with what the truth might lead to.
That's a good one. They're scared of
reality. Scared of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, me personally, like, I have a couple people that are in my life, like really close to me. They're just not really believers, like no matter how much so. And I just kind of stay away from talking about it with them. Like, I'm not like other than the fact that we're sitting here on a podcast talking about it, but I've never really been like an in your face kind of Christian, like pushy about it. I believed for a long time. And honestly, other people that were kind of pushy about it almost turned me off a little bit. So, I guess a little bit of it might be like the fear of coming across too pushy, or a little bit of like, some of those people are like, really close family members that I don't want them to be like, oh, he's into Jesus now. And more so like,
You don't want to Jaden Ivy them?
Again with the
I mean, Jaden Ivey, like, yeah, that's I think so. It's a basketball player, Taylor.
Okay, all right.
He dribbled a ball for a living, and I say dribbled because he now no longer dribbles said ball for money. But you brought that up, and that reminded me. I'm getting off the topic a little bit, but like, did you see the video of, gosh dang it, what's his name? the actor that was in Transformers.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, like he kind of has a, and I think it rubs a couple Christians the wrong way, because he like doesn't use perfect language. He's cussing a little bit, but he like, I don't know if you guys saw that interview. The guy asks him,
I'd
"What would
kiss
you
his
do
feet.
if, yeah, what would you do if like, what would you say if Jesus came in?" He's like, "I wouldn't say nothing, but I'd kiss him. I'd kiss his feet." And he's just like so emotional, like because he said a cuss word in the middle of it. It's like people are like, "Oh, he's a horrible." Like he's. I think that's part of like a little bit of a fear too for me, like coming across wrong, because I'm working on it, but I cuss. Like there's a couple of times in my life I've said bad words. Um, but I don't know. I feel like there's a little difference. Like you say a bad word, but what is the intent behind it? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. I also think, isn't he Catholic?
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, Catholics believe in Jesus. So I don't.
No, I know, but I know like it's just super traditional, like confession, all that stuff.
Oh, you think that Catholics have a higher standard?
No,
That's kind of what I
it's
heard.
not what
But
I'm saying. Hey,
It's
don't
definitely
cancel me.
different. It's definitely different.
I don't know that that's cancel. Like anybody's going to cancel you. No, not enough people follow us to cancel us. um, I don't know. I don't. What's interesting? I don't know if he's Catholic or what he is, but I do think that the different um denom how do you say it, denominations? I almost wanted to say dominations, but it's denominations, right? Little help.
As far
Yeah,
as I know, man.
denomination.
Yeah, a couple people have told me like how different denominations came about and like why they split off, like the Lutheran Church split off, and that's something maybe we could dive into one time, like maybe find somebody that's way smarter than us, which not going to be too hard, but to kind of explain some of those reasons that different churches split off, I think is kind of interesting.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, wasn't it Martin Luther? There's another Marty for you.
It was Martin Luther. Yeah, not Junior,
Not
not the
King
King
Jr.
Jr. No, you're right. It was Martin Luther.
Just the OGML. No K.
I want to say they split off because the Catholic Church was charging penance to get into heaven. So you had to pay money in order to get into heaven at the time, apparently. But I could be
Oh,
wrong about that.
I was going to say, I feel like we need to put a disclaimer that we don't know what we're talking about.
Just three dudes discussing the Bible.
Let me just Google this real quick. I'm like,
Jamie, pull that.
Are you okay?
He's
proceed. I'm
research.
just, I'm-
That's
Go
the
ahead.
research sound.
So John 7. Let's get back on track here, guys.
We're on track. We're talking about Lutherans. Lutheranism originated in the 16th century by breaking from Roman Catholicism over core doctrinal disputes, primarily justification by faith alone rather than words, and the authority of Scripture over papal authority. Somebody could look up papal, that'd be awesome. And then there were other splits in America for other stuff later, but looks like just like the interpretation of the Scripture is what made them split off. So that's interesting. I would like to. That's probably several episodes to dive into that. No more hesitating, Marty.
Sorry. I was looking it up and Papa John's came up.
I don't think that's in the Bible.
Nope.
Turn to chapter Papa John.
There's a John, though. We're talking about him.
Yeah, so in 7, I think what I saw a lot was just like Jesus saying like if you don't know me, you don't know me or my Father. Like he's just kind of fighting back with the Pharisees a lot, and which I thought there's a lot of interesting quotes from him. Um,
The one I wrote down was 7:17, which was, anyone who chooses to do the will of God will find out whether my teaching comes from God or whether I speak on my own. And that kind of just flips everything. So, because like we think, I'll move when I understand. But what Jesus is really saying, from what I got, was no, you move and then you understand. So, like, if I'm waiting to feel ready, I'm just going to stay right where I am. And at some point, it's just not confusion anymore. It's just, I don't want to move. And I think that's just like the realness of it.
yeah, that, and then where was it? I'm sorry, I was trying to find.
I wrote down 15, 16, and then I skipped 17 and went to 18. But it kind of seems like it goes a little back to what we were talking about last episode, the secular versus non-secular. 18 was those who speak on their own authority are trying to gain glory for themselves and not of the Father.
Yeah, so whoever seeks from the one, and he says a lot like from the one who sent me. And if you keep going right there, he says, fights back because again he healed somebody on the Sabbath and they're wanting to kill him for it. He talks about how Moses gave you circumcision and you circumcise on the Sabbath, but then he heals a whole man's body on the Sabbath, and they're wanting to kill him over it. It's kind of like a
Double standard.
yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
I got you, Brad.
Somebody had to save me there.
It's very
Well,
ironic.
Don't
Oh.
you think?
I was just going to say, like, I can't save you, but Jesus can.
Thank you. You know what I was saying the other day too is, and I meant to say this when we were talking about John 5 or 6, something, one of the two. He's talking to the Samaritan woman, and he says, she says, "Oh, the Messiah will come," and something else, and he goes, "I, the one talking to you, I am he." And I was joking with Marty. I was like, so Jesus is like the original I am him. You know, like people say that. You don't like sports, so it doesn't make sense to you, Taylor. But like there'll be guys that like
Will
have
dunk
like
on
a
somebody.
really big game, big numbers they put up, and they're like, "I'm him," or people will say he is him. Like that was Jesus is like, yeah, I'm him.
Or if there's people named Tim or Timothy, they call him Himothy.
Oh, I
Right.
didn't know about that one. That's
Isn't that the actor in Marty Supreme was Timothy Chalamet?
So yeah, I don't know how to say his last name, but yes, Shalamalam, Shamalet, something.
Did you just say shalom?
Shabbat.
No,
Oh man,
M. Night
okay.
Shyamalan.
All right, so John 8.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the burning bush in Exodus or Genesis. That's what the burning bush says. Is, I am he, or I am all that. Let's see, I gotta pull some research up.
I'm that guy.
Let's see. I am all that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just look it up.
We'll wait here patiently.
Dude, we were waiting for you.
I mean, my stuff just turned off. We were having my brain was turned off too. Like I could not remember what I wanted to say. Like I had something that I wanted to bring up, and then my brain shut off first, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, where am I? What am I looking for?" And then all of my, like, it just went completely silent. Like my couldn't hear anything in here, no background noise, anything. So I was like, "Great, I really did just turn my brain off."
I am who I am, God said to Moses.
Oh, that's an Eminem song.
Oh,
I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am?
Also, though, Marty, if you could stop singing the secular music on our podcast, I'd
And the
greatly
papers,
appreciate
the
it.
news, every day.
my
I
Christian
am.
ears.
What movie is he on? My virgin ears. Oh, it's in The Simpsons.
So chapter 8.
Here
if,
we go.
if people are still listening, we're sorry. I think
Well, we can get all this out.
we're figuring it out. Yeah, 8. So there was the part. They say. So he goes to the Mount of Olives, and they bring in the woman that was caught in adultery, and they're like, you know, this woman was caught in the act of adultery, and Jesus starts like writing in the ground. I don't know. It never says what he was writing though. Does it?
Probably pictograms or something. Tessellations.
But then he says, "Let any of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." And then he stooped and wrote on the ground. And at this, those who heard began to go away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left, and just the woman and him were standing there. He says, "Woman," here he is with the sassy woman again, Taylor. "Where are they? Has no one condemned you?" So I told you guys that I've been talking to a counselor and like working on some stuff, and something that he's been trying to get me to do, and I'm not. It's super hard. Is like if something is happening and I'm upset at something or someone, basically to like come back to the gospel and figure out how to put that into that situation. So that when I read it made me think like there's been times in my life where I felt wronged by someone, or someone kind of like I felt like they kind of did me dirty a little, and what that made me think of was like I'm not without sin. So it kind of gives me a reason that I should slow down and not be so quick to throw stones back at them. More just, reflect on myself. And doesn't mean that we can't have a conversation and try and solve whatever happened, but not be so quick to throw those stones. I don't know if you got any similar stories like that makes you think of a few people in your life or not, or situations.
Well, isn't this like seen in Passion of the Christ?
I haven't seen that in so long. Taylor, you seen it lately?
I did, but I don't remember that being
Where
in
he's
there.
like picking up a woman. It's like it's like a flashback while he's carrying the cross.
That's right.
That's where my mind immediately went when you're saying that. So I was like, like I've seen this.
Yeah, but I don't want to know about a movie you saw, Marty.
Hey,
I want to know how you feel. Like, does that bring you to anything in your life? Like, not. I know all you do is watch movies, just all day, every day.
that's a lie.
I would like to point out this isn't the fun kind of stoned either.
That took me a second. You were like the fun kind of stoned, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like the fun kind of stoned. That took me longer than I care to admit to understand what you were saying.
The green kind. Yeah, they're covered in moss. I don't know. For me, like I have been in a similar situation, like with family, and it's like now, like I've just been learning to take a step back and really like, all right, well, put myself in their shoes, as well as like, all right, what is God teaching in all of this? And I think that's where a lot of my decisions recently have been, all right, well, what's God's purpose in this? All right, what would it's so cliche, but what would Jesus do?
He would love first.
Yeah,
That's the answer.
yeah, but it's hard. It's easier said than done, especially when I mean you've been, you know, you feel some type of way about a situation where you got done dirty and like it's hard, but it's
I
about
think that
growing.
I do agree that it is hard, but I'm finding that it's easier when that is your mindset from the beginning. Like it's hard when you're trying to transition into that way of thinking and believing. But as I'm like bringing the gospel into my life more and and I guess positives also, but I use it more right now through negatives because it just like we talked about before, you feel Jesus more like during negative things or interactions. Um, if you're going into it before it happens, like that's you already have that mindset, like this is what I'm going to do. It's easier to slow down. It's hard when you're trying to catch yourself in the middle of it.
Yep. I mean, tensions are high. Like some people see red, and then you just that's where I'm learning to take a step back, breathe, and then go back into it with a calm, kind heart, which it's hard.
Yeah, walking that out, like y'all were saying, it's definitely easier said than done, especially with family situations or issues, and really walking in that forgiveness.
Yeah, I think yeah, I'm like I said, I just really think like Marty, you said it's hard and it is. I'm really standing on the it's getting easier for me because it's like a if you have a plan ahead of time, then it's easier to follow that plan. But if you don't have a plan, then you end up falling flat on your face, kind of thing, you know?
Yep. That's what we learned on Sunday today or yesterday.
From the church readings of John too.
Yes. We told you about that, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's crazy. Like to have so we started reading John like ourselves, like we just talked about it and decided that's what we're gonna do. Then Marty and I, the church we go to yesterday, it was yesterday, right? Today's Monday. Yeah. At the end, he's like, I want to do something. And I never really done Bible plans together. So for them to just pull up and be like, we're going to read John together as a church. That was, I just sat in my seat for a minute afterwards. Like sometimes I feel like I'm on the Truman Show. Marty, you will appreciate that. That's a movie, Taylor. Um,
Oh,
It's a great movie.
That's it's all right.
yeah. So sometimes I'm like, wow, like I will walk out of church and be like, he's following me around and he's telling them, hey, you got to talk about this week. It's pretty crazy. So that's felt like
It
we
was
were on the right path.
it was pretty funny because Brad texts me. He's like, "It's probably gonna happen about now."
Was I pretty close? Was I out right on?
Yeah, you're dead on, bro. It's funny.
I just happened to look up at the clock and knew you were going to the service after me. And I was like, it was towards the end, like 55 minutes in, 53 minutes in, or whatever. Because I texted you in the middle of church. Like the people around me were probably like, this guy doesn't care. But I just couldn't wait. I just sent you that message, and
It was like a
yeah,
kid. It's like,
I
did you go to
just
church yet?
yeah, hey man, hey man. But yeah, I was driving. I just looked at the time, and I was like, oh, it's probably right about now. So I just sent that message. But yeah, pretty cool to now we all get to do that. What are you laughing at?
That you just expose yourself to texting and driving.
I said I was in the car. Did I say I was driving?
You said you're driving in the car, probably.
Well, we'll have to replay the tape. But also,
Let
nobody said I wasn't at a red light or pulled over. Like I was just driving. And then I turned on my blinker. I got all the way to the right, safe away from. I pulled over all the way, and the guy was like, "Hey, you need to pull over." And I was like, "I can't pull over any further. I'm pulled over all the way." And then I sent it. Name that movie, Marty.
I don't know.
Super Troopers. I think you knew that. You're just embarrassed now to talk about movies.
Hey, Dicka. All right.
So, chapter 9 goes into that's the blind man. And this part, what I thought was interesting was the disciples ask him, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? So, like, that made me, and I never paid attention to this before, but like people thought that if you had something wrong where you couldn't see or hear, maybe, I don't know, they thought that somebody sinned to cause that to happen to you. I thought that was interesting.
so I
Biblical
wrote that.
days.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
I was just saying biblical days.
but
That's
I
all I have.
thought I thought the Bible also called out earlier, not in John, about the sins of the father.
Are you going to Google it?
No, I can't research as fast as Marty.
Well, so right after that, so in John 3, so it starts out, John 2 is when they ask him, who sinned, this man or his parents? John 3, Jesus replies, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. And then he spits in the mud, puts the mud in the guy's eyes, and he tells him to go wash in the pool of Siloam. And then he went and washed, and he could see.
I feel like when the disciples were asking who sinned, Jesus came back with an entire paradigm shift for them, because they're under the impression you have to, if you're sick or if you're unwell, you've sinned, and this just shows the redemptive power of Christ, and then it has nothing to do with their father or their mother or what anyone did.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about it like that. Like, they've lived their life thinking one way, and he's like, change up.
Psych. Here you go. I mean, it's just like, I mean, he healed a blind man. Like, it's just undeniable. And I just like how simple he is when I think it was the man that said it. He's like, one thing I do know now. It's like, I was blind, but now I can see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's like there was like no overthinking, no debating it. It was just like, I couldn't see, now I can. And that's it. And everyone's just still questioning it. Like trying to break it down, just not accepting like this miracle that they just saw.
I feel like the Pharisees were kind of like a court, almost like this. They were putting this guy on trial.
Yeah, because he says that he can see now, and again they get pissed off because it's on the Sabbath. Like,
They contacted his parents too, and the parents were afraid of the Pharisees. They didn't want to talk about Jesus and tell him he's the Messiah. Tell the Pharisees that he was the Messiah.
yeah, they I feel like there's something to that. Like he keeps doing stuff on the Sabbath to like kind of poke at him too.
Poking the bear.
I don't think that's the intent, Brad, but
You don't think so? I think that there's something to that. I think that because he was trying to teach him that you have laws, like you made man laws, and he's saying, I live by the law of God. The one who sent me is what he said in previous chapter in 8.
well, he says what in 39, for judgment I have come into this world so that the blind will see and those who will see become blind. So I thought that was a pretty good verse. Because it means like you can see everything clearly and still miss it. So you can see what's wrong, see patterns, see how it's playing out, and still miss it or even stay in it.
Yeah. And then he's talking to the Pharisees when he tells them that, and they say, what are we blind to? And he says, if you were blind, you would not be guilty of sin. But now that you claim you can see, your guilt remains. So, I mean, he could have just said, yeah, you're blind.
Well, he's trying to get them to look introspectively, and the ones who will believe will change, but he already knows which ones are going to follow him.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're just choosing not to believe, you know? I mean, for me, that's what I thought. Even though they see it right in front of their eyes, they're just like, nah, I'm good.
Well, and they do struggle with it earlier in that. I would need to find it, but I think they're having a hard time because they feel like he is sinning by doing these things on the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, why? How can he be him when he's a sinner? How does a sinner perform these miracles? I'm trying to find it real quick, but we need to get our own Jamie. But I think there's only one Jamie in the world, so we got to find somebody else with a different name.
Jaime?
Spanish.
I don't know. This made me think of a Nas song. Funny enough, the song's called God Love Us. And it was like, he who has ears, let him hear. He who has sight, let him see. He who has life, let him be. I don't know why that popped into my head.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. It's a great song.
I can't. You know what we should do? We should do like a. I don't even know how many days you would be able to last. I feel like I was gonna say 30 days, but I was like, there's no way you could do it. Then I was gonna say 7, and I still don't think you could do it. But we should do a 30-day non-secular challenge where all you listen to is
Bro,
not
I've done it. I've done
Christian
it before.
music. I don't believe you, actually. But here's why I don't believe you. I think that you listen to, like you said, oh, this is a Christian band, and you sent me some stuff I couldn't understand.
It was a rapper that
3
I
words.
just listened to. And
Yeah,
he
but
has some Christian-based, like, songs, but you're right, he's a secular rapper.
No, I know I'm right, but
Is this before or after the devil worshipping music video?
Maybe after, I don't know. Before.
I don't remember. But I think, I don't know. I think there's a difference between, like, you guys were talking about that, and I was laughing because one of you were like, "Oh, I like this band," and then the other one of you was like, "Oh, I listened to them. I didn't know they were a Christian band." Like what are you justifying that it's a Christian band? Because they believe in God, or because they sing about him? Or they
They
like
s
their
for
music
me
is
for me as they
worshiping?
s for me as they sing about it and try to they preach about it in their music. Like Lecrae's a big person that I listen to because he talks about just his journey through all the crap he's gone through, his depression, his like gang violence he was going through, his drinking, all that. And, he puts it on paper, puts it in a song where it's like, I've been doing all this stuff, but like I'm trying to be restored. And like one of the lyrics I actually listened to the song today. He's like, are we just gonna sit here and be rustic, or are we gonna just are we gonna take the chance and be restored? And I was just like, dang, like that hit really hard the first time I ever heard that song.
Do you have like a Word document open with all your like favorite rap lines, or like how do you remember all this stuff?
I have ADHD.
I don't think that's what that is. I think you're. I don't think that's what ADHD means.
Yeah. No,
Is that
I just really music's just been something I just love, and the way people put words together. And if it's something that's gonna resonate with me, like it's just like, I don't know, like I just remember it because it's important to me, I guess.
You just got a like some people have a photographic memory. You have an audiographic memory.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
That's a thing. I'm pretty sure. Don't Google it, but I'm pretty sure it's a thing.
the musical
Um,
tism?
Pretty
so now that
much.
we've spent 40% of our podcast talking about music,
We
between
spent about
between all,
50% trying to get you back on the pod.
I did. I was like BRB, but I didn't give it the BRB. I just dipped.
You just BR'd.
It was. I wish like you could feel what I felt, because I was like drawing a blank in my mind. I was like, okay, I wanted to bring something to you guys to talk about, and then I couldn't remember, so my mind felt blank. And then all of a sudden, like the white noise in my headphones just went gone. So then I just felt like I was in a vacuum. Like it was just, and yeah, you hear the silence right after that.
No, you're still talking.
So back to John 7, 8, and 9. The blind part, is there anything in your life that you feel like currently, that you were blind to or have been blind to? Maybe like, I don't know why that's funny.
Because yes, that's why.
I'm trying to have a serious conversation about you being blind, or us being blind. What is that noise?
Is it you or me?
I'm pretty sure it's you.
It's me.
Magic Audio, please do your thing. So
You should
yeah,
rename
like,
it to Jesus Audio.
yeah, that's hilarious. I like that. But is there something, and you don't have to say it what it is out loud, but is there something like that with reading this that you were like, I need to stop being blind to this?
Yeah. And I am going to say it because I think like the point of this whole podcast is just being vulnerable. And like for me, like what showed up a lot in this was, and call me crazy, it's dating. And, usually when I know early when things aren't going to work out, like if something feels off, when, the energy's not being matched, and, when I start to make excuses for things that I should not ignore, like it's that's where I'm getting blind at, I just don't move on it. Like I see the red flags, I state anyways. And, for me, it's like, be patient, keep trying because it felt like it was the right thing to do. And just looking back, it was not patience at all. Like I was ignoring what was already clear. And I try to give grace, and I try to give grace just because I know a lot of people have a lot of shit going on in their lives, like even me, and life gets overwhelming, time's limited. Like I get that, I really do, and my instinct is to be understanding and not expect everything to be perfect. And but like I'm learning that giving grace doesn't mean ignoring patterns. And I've done that a lot before. And I've given that grace. I kept understanding, kept making excuses. I stayed longer than I should have. And, there's a big difference. There's a learning curve in that. And I guess like the main point is like I can give grace and still be honest about what I'm seeing. So um, there's that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I've only known you like a little over a year and a half, and I know like I'm not gonna throw all your stuff out there, but a story or two, and I think it's a little different. Like depends on where you're at with that person, right? Like there's like
Absolutely.
there's relationships where maybe you're part of something for a long time, and it's like there might be more of a discussion on like, okay, this isn't okay anymore. We need to fix that. Like, I will say in my marriage, there's things that I need to be better at, and um, hopefully, I get a little more grace than somebody that you've been seeing with for 6 months or a year or whatever. Um, kind of a different level to that. So like dating, but even in marriage, and I'm sure Taylor's got a good story or two also. That there's things that we're like you are blind to, and I think last episode I even said like you think, oh yeah, I'm doing good, and then you like look back and you're like, nah, not
Eh,
doing good.
maybe not.
Something that a quote that I actually read. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Was something like about that kind of like it was. I cannot change the moment I became aware, but I can choose who I become from the moment forward. So kind of similar to that, like goes into you could be blind for a little while on how some of your actions are affecting those around you, or like you're being blind. Your story was being blind to other people's red flags, and I was thinking of more like my red, like how
Like
I'm being in.
like internally.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's an internal thing for me to look at though, you know what I mean? Like, I guess like for me, like the growth in this is what I'm dealing with is distance. And, distance gonna show you what's real. And just the fact that it's not convenient, you're not around each other. Like all you really have is effort. And just to have that and I had to check myself on that and because like you second guess with all those things. Like do I keep pursuing this? Like, am I holding on to something that might not be as clear as I want it to be? And, you know, I don't want to speak on anyone else, but like, it's just like, just me trying to be honest with myself. And there are moments where it feels good and the moments where I'm questioning it. So it's like, that's where that distance, where I have to slow down because, like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I've been here before. And that's where I come where, all right, well, what's God trying to teach me in this? Like, I stayed longer than I should have last time. And it's not because I didn't see it, but it's because I didn't want to really accept it. And the fact that I don't want to repeat that is kind of the bigger thing, is what I'm learning from. And, you know, um, now it's like I'm a big overthinker and like I'm trying not to do that. And, just being honest with what you see and not just what it like I want it to be. Like, and like the one thing I saw today, it was just like just reminding myself, like, you can't be interested and inconsistent. Like, and like consistency is like a big piece for me when it comes to stuff like that. And I mean, any relationship, friendships, relationships, even with like work relationships, like that consistency kind of builds that trust. And, at the end of it, like I'm learning that I have to face something that I don't want to like admit, like not the fact that I'm confused, but I'm uncomfortable with what the truth might lead to. And I know I said that before already. And, you know, it's about really just responding to what I'm seeing, and something has to change. And, I think that's what I've been avoiding. And just because if I pulled energy back, honestly, like, I don't think anything would change, like, of where I'm at right now. And, like, I need to understand that's going to tell me everything I need to know. And I think that's the hard pill to swallow.
I think
So
what you
I'm
talked me
getting real,
into is never dating ever again in my life. Like
bro.
I'm glad that I'm married because
It's not. It's a dog eat dog world out there. So
I feel
kudos to you guys.
personally, I can't think of any things, nothing that comes to mind, but I do know for sure if I had Lexi sitting here instead of me, she'd be able to share all the stuff that I'm blind to and don't see.
yeah, I think that's another question that I had written was why is it easier to see in others than ourselves? It's like how do you it's easier to see faults in someone else than to see in yourself. Like looking in the mirror and actually really truly looking in the mirror, not just being like, oh yeah, I'm okay. But like really seeing it from a different perspective it's not easy at all.
What about the other way around? Have you ever just like always seen the good in people and that just kind of bites you back?
Yeah, I
You know
definitely
what I mean?
have.
Because that's where like like everybody's gonna have their faults. And and I understand that. Well, none of us are perfect, but like I always try to find the good in people. And it's been a rough journey because
Uh,
it's like, you want to give them, like I said, you want to give people grace and try to give them that. But also it's like, you give, but what are you getting back? Where's that exchange where, like I said, we shouldn't expect it, but you do.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever been like that until maybe a little more recently, but when I grew up I was always like the opposite. Like I was like saw more bad, I think. I don't know. Maybe because of what I did for a living for a long time. I just saw like the worst people. Um so I don't know. I've never really had the getting bit because I just wanted to see good only.
Because you're a big dog. That's why. Big
I'm,
dog?
I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Marty. Definitely seen too good in people to a fault. Stayed in jobs because I had more trust in the bosses or the people leading me way, way past the point of like being okay. Almost to the point of like traumatic, not physically traumatic, but emotionally and mentally and definitely spiritually too.
Facts. Dude, I'm right there with you. Get on the train, Brad. Come on.
I'm working on it. I am working on being seeing more good in not just people but like situations and knowing that God does everything for good, right? Like everything is working for is good.
Everything's for a purpose, whether we see it or not.
Yeah, so I think probably hit on most of what we were talking about. Do you have anything that you had written down we skipped or want to put them all together? This is a good
We're
time
gonna
for somebody to,
we're gonna Megazord it.
I don't know what that means. But basically all three. 7 was what, hesitation, and then there was some resistance, and then you got the blindness. And the thing I think what like the common theme is like none of them were saying that I don't believe in him. It was just kind of people not really responding, I guess. No.
Just nobody moves. Like different situations, same issue, nobody moves.
Complacency.
Yeah, like the not rejecting God necessarily, but like delaying, ignoring, and I guess doing nothing is just as bad as saying no, right?
I would think so.
In this circumstance, at least. All right. Well, that's a wrap for me. Unless you guys want to jump on something, we can start reading 10 through 12 or 10, 11, 12. Yeah. I think last week I said 6 through 10 on accident. I added a finger. So John 10 through 12. And am I praying again, or you guys got it?
Dang, dude. These Bible widgets. Literally what we just talked about. This is what God has for you. Well, you won't have to beg, force, or chase.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. I know, like, I agree with what your Bible widget said, but it's not that. I don't think that's your phone just listening to you. That's Big Brother. Like, turn off your ability to like share across apps or whatever, and see if it's still the same. Then I'll start believing it. But that's like listening in on your conversations. Like, oh, I'm going to tell him this, and he's going to think. I
The
don't like.
sign.
Yeah. Maybe I'm being. You know what? I should see the good in that app. I'm sorry.
You should, Brad. You change your mindset, big dog.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Were you talking to me?
No. It was not.
All right. One of the little dogs want to pray?
Well, not now, but no. I got it today, Chief.
Big Chief.
Sign us out of here. People are already hanging up. They're already at end.
They gone. Lord, just thank you for this time we had together today to read your word about the multitudes of John. And I pray everyone has a wonderful week and get something out of us trying to go through the Bible together. And in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.